Good morning, guys. Let me see if I can get you turned up. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life and finances. Hope everybody's having a marvelous Monday and ready to get this day started. My name is Yamicha Jojo White, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I'm going to try sitting here, but I don't know. Can you guys see me okay? We may have to go outside to see if that is a little bit better. Hope everybody had a good weekend. And it's Monday morning, y'all. Morning.
Hey, good morning, good morning.
I see we all out and about this morning.
Girl, I decided I need to kill two birds with one stone this morning. Come on here and talk to them on the Fearless Morning Show and get my walk on because these LBs are not going to wait on me. They keep packing on, so I got to do something about them, right?
Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. Lamorla Smith, thank you for joining as well, everyone. It's a fantabulous Monday, even though it's cloudy and overcast out here. We still gonna try to make it do what it does.
Kimberly, I was going to try to see you this weekend. I'm still going to be in town for a little while, so I may swing by Barnes Tires if you're going to be there. Good morning, Charlene. How
Hey,
you
good
guys doing
morning.
tonight?
Yeah, Charlene, we're gonna have to reschedule our fearless challenges. So yeah, I give my buddy a pass right now because she's dealing with some
Thank you.
things.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we're gonna have to reschedule. All right, y'all. We'll go ahead and get started with our conversation this morning. But our fearless morning quote comes from Nelson Mandela. It's always impossible until it's done.
It's gone. I probably used every bit
It's as
of
simple as that. It always seems impossible until it's done. So, what are those things that are on your to do list? Oh, y'all, I might have to sit down. Your girl, I'm with it.
Walk it
This,
out, girl.
this hill is killing me, and it should not be doing this. I tell you. But you know what? I got to tough it out. I'm going to keep going, right? It
It seems
always,
impossible until it's
girl,
done.
this hill, I'm telling you, it seems
Good morning.
impossible, but I'm going to keep going. This thing, I'm telling you, it's something else. These mountains in Georgia, it's not even a mountain, this is a hill. Why am I tripping? These, these hills in Georgia. Thank you, Charlene. I think I can. I think I can. She said, you can do it, Lynn. I think I can. Oh, y'all, yes. The struggle is all the way real. But anywho, are they telling us the truth? Is what I want to talk about this morning. And what I mean by are they telling us the truth? I'm talking about, does the stock market really tell us how good the economy is? Does it really tell us? Because you've seen over the past few years, for many years, dare I say, good morning, for many years, the market has been going up. They're saying the economy is in a great place. They're saying that, you know, unemployment is at an all-time low. But are you seeing it really in your life? Are you seeing it really in your financial situations? Are you really seeing it in everything that you're doing? Is it getting better for you in the same way? Is the question that I'm asking. Are they telling us the truth? And the thing that I want to basically reiterate, so let me do a little bit of backtracking. So for the stock market, when you invest in the stock market, it's akin to several things, right? You think when you were a kid, most kids had a lemonade stand, right? If you had a lemonade stand, say me, right? Most kids had a lemonade stand growing up. So this scenario will be something simple that you will understand. If you had a lemonade stand and you're selling lemonade, but you want to expand those lemonade stands, right? And in order to expand the lemonade stands, you either have to do one or two things. You got to go to the bank and get a loan so you can expand, or You got to get somebody to invest and give you the money, right? So what a company does, and the reason the stock market exists is because it's a way for them to get money. How do they get other people's money so that they can grow their companies? So in looking at these opportunities, a stock will sell shares, right? I'm sorry, a company will sell shares in their lemonade stand to others with the event to say, hey, I'm giving you this piece of my pie, the slice of my pie, if you will, so that I can go out, use your money, and grow the company. And as an end result, I can possibly give you some kickbacks. I can give you some dividends as a result of me making money in my company if you buy these shares of stock. So looking at these different opportunities inside of the stock market, we say, okay, this is a great way to now make money. This is a great way to now build generational wealth. Is it really? If we look at the history of the markets, the New York Stock Exchange is the big daddy of all, right? The New York Stock Exchange has been around since 1792. Did y'all know that? It's been around since 1792. So there's some real history inside of the stock exchange. And then you also hear about the Dow, right? The New York Stock Exchange started in 1792. The Dow, that didn't start to 1971. The Dow's just a wee bit, older than some of us, right? So if we look at it from the perspective of the New York Stock Exchange, that's where all the big companies are. That's where the Walmarts are. Their stocks and things are traded. But on the Dow, that's where we find the technology stocks. So the New York Stock Exchange, it has an actual physical location, but the Dow doesn't. It's electronic, okay? It's electronic trading of stocks. So that's where you see your Apple, your Facebooks, all of those technology stocks, they'll belong to the Dow, okay? So when we talk about, are they really telling us the truth in regards to the stock market? Are we really doing as well as we think we are? That's where you have to decide for yourself whether or not this is the truth, and are you going to buy into this idea to build generational wealth for your family, okay? So in looking at this, guys, the other thing that I want to share with you, the number one thing that they tell us, your company is listed on the New York Stock Exchange? Yes, okay. So Charlene says she works for the Primerica, I think it's Primerica, and they're listed on the New York Stock Exchange. So you'll see those largest companies that are listed there. So how do you now track the exchanges? You have to go through what they call the index. When you really want to invest in those markets, in those areas, you have to track what they call the index. So the index, the S&P 500, okay, is the number one index that is out there that most people, most analysts, most chartists, most financial planners, you name it, with any grain of salt will tell you, if you invest right in the S&P 500, that's a great place to get started, because most of the investments inside of the S&P 500 outpace, they beat, they do better, whatever terminology you want to use, than most individual hedge fund managers, okay? So while you're getting your education, while you're learning how to invest in the markets, make sure that you follow that index, the S&P 500. You can go on and Google it and see what are the stock symbols for the S&P 500. You should know this by now. I've told you this on a gazillion different shows. The letters are SPY. Next time you know that, or you go Google that so that you have that information so that you can get in on that investment opportunity. The Dow basically looks at the top 30, okay? What are those 30 largest companies that they're looking at? So when you see that on the news, they tell us, and it's on the news every day. Did y'all ever pay attention to that? They talk about the stock exchange every day. They talk about the Dow Jones Industrials, all of the stuff, they talk about it every single day. And why is it? why is it that they talk about these different locations, the New York Stock Exchange, and I talk about the New York Stock Exchange because we're here in the US, right? That is our exchange. But please know that all of the other countries, they also have their own exchanges. They do something very similar. But the number one, the largest, the one that's been around the longest, of course, is the New York Stock Exchange. So are they telling us the truth when they share this information? Because they come on relentlessly every day, relentlessly, and tell us how these markets are doing. What you have to now do to determine whether or not this is the truth that you want to abide by, the truth that you want to invest in, is to determine and know the difference between the price of something and the value of it. Because there's a huge difference. See, what happens in the markets, guys, this is just a basic investing lesson. What happens in the markets is simply this. Someone buys shares in a company and someone else comes along and says, you know what, I think that's a great idea. I think I want to buy those shares at a higher price. So the individual who owns those shares has to sell them to the next individual who's now buying them with the hopes that it's going to go up in some time in the near future. And this happens, I just said that over a few seconds, but this happens hundreds of thousands of times, right? Hundreds of thousands of times in mere seconds in the market, right? So you have to, I know, Kim, I'm trying, girl. I am trying. It's really hard. I'm trying to maneuver this, hold this camera up so I can hold this phone up so I can talk to y'all. I'm trying to keep walking. I was trying to do speed walking, but it slowed down significantly, right? And I'm trying to stay on point with what I'm trying to teach you this morning. But guys, we have to make sure that we are paying attention. And the number one thing that you must pay attention to is what is the end game, right, in the media? What is the end game when they're sharing these numbers with us? What is the end game when they're talking to us about all of these things that are happening in the market, all of the events that are causing things to go up, to go down? What is the end game? And what you have to be aware of is, how do I now position myself so that when these things happen, that I can win, right? And what do I mean by winning? So that I can get into those investment opportunities so that I can now grow, right? Make, keep, and grow my money when I take advantage of these opportunities. So when do you want to get in, guys? When the stock goes down, that's your opportunity to make money. So don't get scared. Don't let your emotions get in the way, right? And they're talking about our emotions. Our emotions are something serious for most of us. Uh-oh. See, my emotions just got me right there real quick. Somebody was walking by. So you have to be, guys, be aware of your emotions. Make sure that you can control them and do the opposite of what the masses are doing. That's the number one thing, so that you can stay in front of the lies, right? Are they lying to us? Yes, yes. Good morning. Thank you for joining. So guys, make sure that you are aware of, you are cognizant of the fact that they are manipulating us in the media. And what you have to do is make sure that you do your due diligence so that you can answer the question for yourself. Are they lying to us? Are they telling us the whole truth, or what they want us to know, so that they can get the ratings on their show? See, that's what's most important. And the other thing, guys, that I want to share with you, if you're ready to move, to learn what it is that you need to learn so that you can invest with confidence, the class starts it's the first Thursday in September. Yes, Thursday, September the 6th, I think is that day, at 8 p.m. So if you go to bit.ly/investing blueprint, that's where you can get registered and get signed in. All right, y'all. I think I just saw a pit bull over there. So your girl turning around. See,
I mean, you
play.
turned around in 1.2
Girl,
times. Like
now,
that's kind of quick.
yes, yeah. You saw that, didn't you? Yeah. See, your girl don't play with that right there. I don't care how cute they are. I don't care if they have blue eyes. I don't care. They say, oh, it won't bother you. Baby, I don't play that. He won't bother you. He doesn't know me. Okay. And, but yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm Lynn Dimmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yes, I said it, America's #1. And I just need you to do your due diligence so you can determine whether or not they are lying to us. All right? Stay smart out here in these streets, whether it's Wall Street or your street. It doesn't matter. All right? Keeping it real. All right, Miss JoJo, over to you.
She said, in your street or Wall Street.
Right?
And that's for real. All right, guys. So today's topic for the Fearless Thought for today is don't allow people to judge you, be judgmental of where you are in your journey of living past crazy in your life and your finances. Because everybody, first of all, we all have got to start somewhere. And if you're
Yes.
starting negative, hey, I started at a negative amount, don't be ashamed of that. And don't let people judge you because of that. Take the information that you need and continue to grow. Because what you'll find is if you allow people to judge where you are, if you get caught up in the hype of listening to everybody else and doing what they're doing, you're not going to get where you need to get. First of all, you're going to become frustrated, and then you're going to end up stopping because you're
Right.
not on their level yet. And this is how I related to. Think about the first time you started your job. You knew nothing. You knew absolutely nothing. So what did you have to do? You had to show up every single day.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you had to work it 8 to 5. You had to learn it and you had to figure that thing out. And now you are a professional at what you do. And then you watch a new person come in and they had to do the same thing you had
Yes.
to do. Work that thing 8 to 5 until they figured it out. And that's how you have to look at this process for living past crazy in your life and finances. You can't come in with you can't come in being the vice president when you got secretary information. You understand what I'm saying? If if my education
Even though I
level,
know some who have, it messed it
I
all the
don't
way
y'all,
up.
Jesus. Well,
Yes. But
but
anywho,
guess what happened? It eventually catch up to you. So
absolutely.
if you only got that EA, that executive assistant information, you can't be demanding that you be vice president. You got to work that thing. You got to learn your information and you got to know it and you got to become a professional. Lynn had to do that as a teacher. Charlene, I'm sure, had to do it. I know, good Lord knows I had to do it in the healthcare field because you don't know everything. So don't allow people to judge you based on where you are as compared to where they are. And for me, since this is a Fearless Morning Show, we're having confessions and conversation. And it was for me, it was in my finances. And I could not allow people, and that's one of the things why I never wanted to look at my bank account, is because I felt like people were going to judge me. And they didn't even know I was even looking at my bank account, number one. So how would they even judge me? But I was so caught up thinking they were going to judge me on that. And then
Yeah.
number two, I was judging myself because I was like, oh, well, you got this and this and this, and you should have been further along. And let me tell you, until you take that first step
Right.
to do something different, you're not going to move past it. You're going to continue to stay in that little rut and then allow people who may judge you based on what they think they know.
Right.
And then you got a whole nother problem on your hands. They're judging you for something that's not even true, but you can't tell them because you ashamed, and then you letting that shame stop you. Morning, Mom. So you cannot do that. And for me, I think I just saw Rachel come on. For me, one of the first things I had to do, I did two things. I downloaded Lynn's budget toolkit, and I hated every second of that, but it worked. Please understand it worked. Because what Lynn does not do is play with her money. And so that
Now,
spreadsheet is nothing to play with.
say that again. Right.
And the second thing that I had to do is I needed some hand holding. So I reached out to Rachel. And Rachel, if you're on, you can post your link. Rachel does credit repair. And I knew I needed to start somewhere. And for me, that was it. And I started that with Rachel. And then I combined the two of them together. I had to do baby steps. And first it was looking at my money and doing Lynn's
Right.
budget toolkit. That was it. And then I had to add Rachel into the mix and start working on my credit. And then I went back. And as Lynn is talking about this investment, y'all, not only do you listen, but you then have to go back and apply this education. You've got to go out and read it again. This is your first time on here. your first time. So if you never done the investing thing, you never done any of that, you've got to make sure that you go back and you got to educate yourself on your own. So that meant I was reading books on my own on investing and how to begin to invest, and
Right.
playing around with the market and learning it myself, because Lynn and I can tell you all day how to live past crazy in your life and your finances, but until you start to do the application of the
Do
thing,
it.
and so you start investing on your own, you're not going to understand what she's saying. You're not going to understand the concept of where she's going. You're not going to understand what I'm saying when it comes to living past crazy in your life, because it's going to continue. And then you have people judging you for money they think you got. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
And
I,
then you got people judging you for the life they think you got when you over there living dollar to dollar every single day of the week. So please make sure, guys, on today, don't judge yourself and don't allow other people to judge you based on where you are. Please
can
don't allow that. Go
can
ahead,
I
Lynn.
share a quick judgmental story that happened to me?
Mhm.
Y'all, I remember the first time that I walked into a car dealership. Granted, I was a teenager, right? I walked into a car dealership and I was talking to one of the salesperson about a car that I wanted. And my dad was with me, but he intentionally stayed behind because he was like, okay, I'm going to let you do this. And I'm talking to the guy about the car that I want, and I'm asking him questions, and he's reluctant to respond to my questions. And he's looking at me like, what is this little girl doing coming in here asking all these questions about a car? She knows she's not going to buy a car. And then my dad finally walks up because he recognizes what the man is doing. And he says, look, she has her own money, right? And as soon as my dad says that, his whole demeanor changed. His entire demeanor changed towards me. And the beauty of it, guys, was I recognized that thing right then and there as a teenager. I said, you know what? I think I need to go somewhere else and take my money and spend it and get me a car elsewhere, because this is not
Mhm.
the way that you treat somebody just because, right? You look a certain way, or just because you think that they may be too young to do this or too young to do that. See, guys,
Mhm.
see, he messed himself up. He missed out on his commission on that day just because of these preconceived notions and things that he had about himself, right? And
Mhm.
it's a completely different feeling when you can walk into a car dealership, y'all. And I know everybody more than likely has gone to a car dealership to go look at some cars and talk to that sales rep, and you know how this feels. But it's a completely different scenario when you go in there and say, well, I got $10,000 right now cash that I can put down on the car. And then he's like, oh, okay, well, let's go out here and go test drive this. I'm like, well, you know
Mhm.
what?
Then the
Thanks, but no
conversation's
thanks,
different.
right?
Mhm.
Thanks, but no thanks. I said, how can you do that to someone, to a
Mhm.
person, just because? Absolutely, Charlene, he missed it. He missed it on
Yep.
that day. And you know what I did? I went right down to CarMax. I
That
went
is
right
right.
down to CarMax and got a better deal on top of that. So I'm just
Good
like, you
morning,
know what,
Anthony.
guys? You got to recognize these things for yourself and stop
That's right.
lying. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying, allowing other people to lie to you and treat you any kind of way. I know that kind of went sideways from where I was exactly going to share that story
But
with
it
you
was
this
the
morning,
same.
but I had to get that point across. All right, Miss
Yeah, but
JoJo.
it's the same thing, because you can't allow people, and that guy, he was judging you based on what he thought. So you can't allow people
Exactly.
to judge you based on your journey, please, because
Exactly.
then you're gonna stop and you're not gonna continue on. We
Mm-hmm.
all have got to start somewhere, period.
Absolutely.
And if you keep putting it off, guess what? You'll never start.
Hmm.
And then you're still going to continue to complain about the same thing, but you never started on the process
Exactly.
in the first place. So you've got to start. So don't judge yourself on where you are in your journey, and then
Hey,
don't
good
allow
morning.
other people to judge where you are on your journey, because we're all different and
Right.
we're not going to be in the same place on this journey. But my friend, you've got to start somewhere, because if
Yes.
you don't, your crazy will continue, and it's gonna last for the rest of your life. You're never gonna buy that house. Your credit's never gonna be good. You're never gonna have that good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to, I know I use my finances as an example of the judgmental, but when it comes to your relationships, when you allow other people to judge you about your relationship,
Yes.
because girl, JoJo, you getting married again? Let me tell you one, especially when I got married the second time, because y'all been married twice. JoJo, you get married. How many last names you got? How many? None of your business. That's how many I
Right.
got. I got some of that. But if you allow people to judge you, you can miss out on a blessing of something different.
Yes.
Right, Antoinette, it will continue. And you allow people to judge you in your life. Girl, you keep picking these crazy men. But then after a while, when you start to do something different, you're gonna start judging yourself. I always pick them crazy men because I'm guilty of that. When I was like, you know what? My picker is wrong. I'm not picking any more men because apparently I am doing it completely wrong. And so when I realized I was doing it to myself, it was twofold. Number one, I stopped because sometimes it's not always your fault, but it is your fault if you recognize crazy and you continue in it. But
Right.
I'm saying you got to do something about it. So, Charlene, honey, they gave me down the road because when every time somebody say something, they say, "Oh, well, what last name we gonna put on your check today?" It doesn't matter. Pick one. They all cash. How about some of that?
Now, don't
They
trip.
are. Please,
Look,
long as you
don't
say
trip.
Yanitra at the beginning, because there's only one of me. Please understand. I won't get that. That's all that matters. But don't allow people to judge you where you are. You got to
Right.
start somewhere. It doesn't matter if you've been in those crazy relationships or if you've been married one, two, three times. It doesn't matter. At that point, this is where I say it's a personal journey. You got to walk it yourself and you got to do it for yourself. And that's where it come in. Your circle is vital and you can't tell everybody all of your business. And it is
Yes.
not for them to understand.
And
It
Charlene
is not
said,
for them.
mind your business, y'all. That's right. And
Mind
you
your
know the
business.
song.
That's
That's
right.
right. And sweep around your own front door before you try to sweep around mine. Let's have some of that. All right. That's
There you
all.
go. Because there's a difference, of somebody trying to help you as opposed to them being there to be judgmental about
Right.
your process. Because
Exactly.
you got to be careful, especially when it comes to your girlfriends. And I love my girlfriends, especially when it comes to your girlfriends and your relationships with husbands, wives, and boyfriends. Especially when their life is different from yours, and you trying to
Right.
tell them what's going on. And as soon as, girl, if I was you, you're not. So please don't
Right.
start the sentence like that. Don't
Exactly.
don't do that. You're there to support me in whatever it is. But you
Yeah.
get caught up, girl, if I was you, I wouldn't be putting up with that. Well, I'm so glad this is not your situation and
Right.
it's not you. So just
Right.
be mindful, guys, of that whole process. I know I totally went sideways with that, but don't be judging yourself and don't allow people to judge you. All right, I think I can post some comments here, Lynn, for the link to the Fearless Morning Show. All right, guys, if you guys please share this show first of all. How about some of that?
Yes.
If your friends and family do not have Facebook, that is our YouTube channel where they can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Everything is current. I think I loaded Friday's video. I'm not sure, maybe not, but yeah, because I was traveling. That's right. Walk a mile in my shoes. Can't nobody say that. Period.
Yeah.
So make sure you guys check out the video. Make sure you share this one if you know anybody that's living in crazy. Have them come on by here to the Fearless Morning Show. We're having confessions and conversations. We're going to help you get past that crazy in your life and finances. Lynn, you want to tell them about your class one more time?
Absolutely, guys. So if you are ready to go ahead and get started with your investing journey, get the education you need, no matter how much money you have at this point, there are things that you can do differently. Go to bit.ly/investing blueprint. I remember the first time that I started investing, got out there and started investing without having the formal education that I needed. And I lost a lot of money, and that hurt. That hurt. But I understand and I recognize how important and valuable it was for me to be able to understand what it is that I was doing. Not only for me, y'all, I shared the information about one of my clients. She talked about the fact that she gave her money to a company to invest for her. She
Mm-hmm.
thought she was sending it to a reputable organization to take care of her and invest her money for her. And then she received a phone call from them saying that the SEC has seized all the funds and she will not be able to get her money right now. And she's like, I got to do something different. And that's something different that she did was join in with us in the Investing Blueprint class so that she can now understand what it is and do things differently with her money. No, she doesn't have her money yet because the federal government has seized those funds. But she's figuring out what can she do moving forward. See, sometimes you lose, guys, but what matters most is that you don't stay down. You
That's
get
right.
back up and you try it again. So if you're ready, go ahead to bit.ly/investing blueprint. Class starts the first Thursday in September at 8 p.m. All
That's
right,
right. I
guys.
posted I was gonna
Yes,
say I
thank you.
posted the link for you, Lynn, up there so you guys can check it out. And
All
then
right.
before we close, my friend Crystal Crawford, I said this on Friday about the kidney transplant. Please make sure that I think it's called living donors is what it's called. But please make sure that, we are doing everything that we can do to support those in our community who may need us. Because sometimes we say all the time, oh, it's not my business. In the Black community, we say in the men, I'm giving Jesus everything that he gave me, all my organs, all my body parts. But sometimes that can save a life. So make sure that you guys get educated on that. And if I'm not mistaken, Crystal is in need of a kidney transplant. So guys, make sure you check out her page. At the very least, get educated on the entire process. All right, guys, that is it for the Fearless Morning Show. I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for going on the walk with Lynn, and I'm sitting in a hotel now. I'm getting ready to go back upstairs and wake the girls up so we can get this day started. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. We'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning at 7:15. Have a good one.
Signing off.